Are you wondering how to get the best graphic settings in Valorant that give you the optimal amount of FPS, but at the same time you also want it to be competitive, give you the advantage in game, and for it to look somewhat decent? Well, I'm going to cover all of that and give you the settings that you need today. So no matter what you're looking for, I'm going to get you covered here with these tips. So be sure to drop a like on the video if it does help you out, and consider supporting me on Patreon because it does allow me to make more of these videos. There is a link down below. And this will apply to the new season too, as there are quite a few changes that we need to go over. Now go into your settings page and go over to the general tab. These are going to be the first settings that I want you to adjust. You need to go down to your enemy highlight color and you want to turn it to yellow Dunatropia. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, I'm probably not, but turn it to the yellow one with the Dunatropia on it. That is the best one because it is the color that stands out the most to us as humans. So make sure you've got that down and got it covered. Next up, go down to your map. You'll see it just below it. Then you want to head over and put it on rotate and keep it player centered. This is crucial and the size and zoom can be completely up to you. I would recommend making it quite big, but don't let it get in the way of any crucial information. Now make sure you're staying in the same tab and scroll all the way down to the bottom. You will see a setting that says show bullet tracers. Make sure you have this on. Some of you might have it off, but it has to be on. Make sure it is. It helps you out a lot. Now next up, if you go ahead and move over to your controls tab, which is going to be the one to the right, stay in the actions menu and you will see your abilities. These are the different hotkeys that you can change, and I would highly recommend changing some of these to suit you a little bit better. For example, on an agent like Raze or Jet, you are going to be having a lot of movement control, therefore you might want to change it to a mouse button or a button that is simply easier for you to press when you're doing other stuff too, because I found it's quite hard to use the Raze satchel when you're wanting to do a lot of high jumps if it's on the default key. So I've had to move it across and you might have to too. This will apply to other agents, so be very careful not to use Sky when you're using your Raze keybind, as it will apply to them. There is no individual profile unfortunately yet. Now you're going to move over to the video tab, which is in the top right, and then you want to stay in the general menu. Here what I want you to do is make sure your display mode is on full screen. If you're not on full screen, you'll be having some FPS drops and a few problems there. Next up, you want to scroll all the way down and you'll find your max FPS always and max FPS in background. Want to be changing these to 300 FPS. Both of them should be on that, and it allows you to have the maximum amount of FPS. Then if you have an Nvidia GeForce card, you can go ahead and put the reflex low latency to on. If not, just leave it off. After that, go ahead and move over to your graphics quality. Now this is where you're going to see most of your FPS go up. You want to change your material quality, texture quality, detail, UI, vignette, VSync, all the way to low and off. Turn them all off. Then go over to your anti-aliasing. Now I'd recommend setting this to MSA 2X. This is the one that I'd go for because it's going to allow you to have a lot more FPS and also make the game look nicer. It's better than putting it on none as well. Then you want to go over to your anti-strophic filtering, put that to 1x, and then I'd go over to improved clarity. I would recommend having improving clarity on because it will give you a little bit of a difference when looking at player models and they'll be easier to spot. Turn the beta experimental sharpening off. Bloom, you can put this on if you want to go ahead and see little items like sofa darts a lot easier. This does help there, but if it gives you more FPS, go ahead and turn it off. Then put distortion and cast shadows off. You don't need them at all. Now a few good settings to have on that just generally help you out is go over to your video and make sure you're in the stats page. You want to have client FPS to text only on, and then you want to go down to the very bottom where it says network and have network on text only and packet loss on text only. This will help you spot how much FPS you have in game, and if you also have any packet loss or ping issues, it will tell you that too. And it also helps just to see what FPS you're getting in game. The best part about it too is that it won't really get in the way of anything either. Now if you want some extra FPS, I would highly recommend turning gameplay, agent flavor and tactical callouts and VOP Dux flavor completely off. The only one that you should have on is the announcer. Now again, if you like hearing the agent flavor, the little voice lines they do after they get a kill and stuff like that, keep it on, but if you really want to get the extra FPS, turn everything off but the announcer. The tactical callouts you'll hear in game and everything else is irrelevant. Now with the new season, they've actually updated one or two things. In the previous guide, when I asked you to put on show mature content, which is a key setting that you need to know, go over to your general tab, scroll down to the bottom or the middle, and it should say show mature content. You need to go ahead and turn this on, and then go over to show corpses and show blood. This is a brand new feature that has been added. You can now change to have the corpses on and have the blood off. The problem with this last time is you would remove the corpses, which is a massive feature because it's easier to revive people as Sage. It's easier to see weapons on the ground so there isn't a body in the way. It makes life a lot easier. But the negative of it is blood will be turned off, which means if you get a headshot or a body shot, it's very hard to tell, and it's a little bit of an advantage having blood on. But now you can actually change between the two. So have show mature content on, and then you want to go to corpses, make sure that setting is off, and then have show blood as on, and you'll be good to go. It's a massive change because you turn off corpses, you can pick up weapons easier, revive people easier, see things a lot easier, and it's overall a cleaner experience and gives you extra FPS too. And then show blood gives you the advantage too. So you're winning. And that is the end of today's video. I hope it has helped you out. If it did, drop a like on the video and subscribe for more. I do stream on Twitch, link down below in the description. And please consider supporting me on Patreon. There's a link down below in the description too, and it will help me out a ton to continue making videos possible. Click on the video on your screen right now if you want to see the top 5 crosshairs in Valorant.